So first, Nordic Metals, focused on Sweden and Finland. We'll really focus this talk on our Swedish assets. First general message here is we're really fortunate and we like to be where we are. A big part of it is geologically. This is a very underexplored part of the world. These greenstone belts that are here are akin to what you'd see in other parts of the world, but they really have not had a lot of exploration done on them. They're probably about 75, 80 years behind what you see, for example, in the Abitibi. Foreign investment, they were not open, these countries, the Nordics, to foreign investment to the late 90s. So it's a great, great opportunity, and we have a dominant land position here on two major greenstone belts. We're focused on the Gold Line Belt in northern Sweden, and the three different projects there are shown there, and I'll talk about them in a sec. And then we have an asset, an entire greenstone belt in Finland called the Oijärvi Belt. And again, I won't talk about that as much here because we're focused on Sweden, but we can follow up later on that. Sweden and Finland have a long history of mining, thousands of years, number one, number two producer. Great place to be in terms of a tier one safe jurisdiction, great tax rates, unbelievably low exploration costs, operating costs, etc. So it's a great place to be in. Two major belts in northern Sweden. One is running kind of north-south. That's the Gold Line Belt. That's where our focus is. And then a really productive belt, the Skellefteå VMS belt, which has been explored extensively, primarily by Boliden. About 30, 40 kind of discoveries, historic active mines on this belt. Gold Line Belt is quite a bit less explored than the Skellefteå VMS belt. Great infrastructure around, by the way, power lines everywhere. 3 cents a kilowatt hour for power. I don't know where you can find that anywhere in the world. It's a great place to work. We own the entire belt, the Gold Line Belt, about 100 kilometers of strike. Right in the middle is the Barsley project. It's a 2.4 million ounce in all categories gold deposit. That's a joint venture with us and Agnico, and I'll talk about that. But all of around the Storjukten project and Paubacken project to the north and south of Barsley, those are 100% owned by us. There are several mines also on the belt, on the Gold Line Belt. You've got Dragon mining there. You've got Sweden's newest mine called Fabetarn, which is also there. So it's an active place, and things are starting to get going. Looking at the Abitibi Belt in comparison, I noted it, but you've got 15 companies over a 100-kilometer kind of trend. We are the sole owner of 100 kilometers of greenstone belt. Puts us in a great position, and again, because it's underexplored, we're hoping a camp can build here. Central processing facility with 3, 4 deposits feeding one central processing facility. That's the general vision for us. Capital structure, 150 million market cap. Institutional about 40%, insiders 18, retail at 30, and Agnico at 11. See the share price performance has been going steadily since last year when our merger with Barsley Minerals and Gold Line Resources happened. And we ended the year with about $12 million in cash. So we're well funded all the way into 2026 to aggressively explore and do our diamond drilling, which I'll talk about. Barsley project, here's a plan map. It's a big land package. I'll focus on the resource area that's shown in the red there. There's 3 main zones. This is a 55 Agnico, 45 us JV. We're fully carried. When they put out a pre-feasibility study, the mechanics of it are that when they put a pre-feasibility out, we go to 70-30 and we start being pro rata. That is likely not going to be the situation. We are in talks right now with Agnico to become the operators of this project. Agnico's been here since 2015, done about 500 holes, 165,000 meters, and almost $60 million has been spent. Long section here, it's big deposit, 3.5 kilometers of strike, 3 zones, as I noted before, average resource depth about 550 meters. And we've hit it actually 925 meters. So and the rock unit actually continues to 2 kilometers. So we have very strong belief here that this will continue to 1 kilometer and beyond. And when you do that, that kind of 2.4 million ounce resource, looks toward almost doubling if you can get to 1 kilometer of depth, which these greenstone belt deposits are known for. A couple of typical cross sections. I think the main thing to note here, guys, is very amenable to this low-cost bulk underground mining. Underground zones here, 200-300 meters wide, so you're talking about 20-meter, 40-meter stopes pretty easily. Underground grade is about 3 grams per ton, 2.5 to 3 grams per ton. You can see on this slide some other operations and projects, their underground grades and how we stack up. We stack up very well. And most of the economics, guys, is in the underground. There's a couple starter pits. About 1.4 grams per ton is the average open pit grade, but most of the economics is in the underground. Metallurgy, mid-90s, that can be optimized, so simple, clean metallurgy. And I have talked about the resource upside at depth. So that's one part of the story. Now we're talking about our 100% owned projects and why we believe there's another Barsele here, another 2 Barseles. So our target number 1, we're currently drilling 10,000 meters here, 4-kilometer long structural corridor. In the Nordics here, in addition to the geochem and geophysics works you do, prior to diamond drilling, you do base of till drilling, short percussion holes drilled into the bedrock because bedrock is covered by glacial till, and it's a very good correlation you can get between the base of till drilling and diamond drilling. It really helps bring the cost down for diamond drilling. This is a target that's bigger currently than Barsele. We had a discovery hole of 22.5 meters of 2.4 gram per tons. This has not even seen 10 holes total. We are now starting a very extensive program here, 10,000 meters, and we hope we can work towards a maiden resource on this project for later this year. Moving 5 kilometers north of that, so we're about 25 kilometers or so south of Barsele, we've got 2 other targets called Brokahan and Harpsund, 5.5 kilometer geochemical anomaly, extensive sampling's been done, base of till drilling was recently done, we're awaiting results, and then this would now move on to diamond drilling after Ida. And again, that's bigger footprint again than Barsele. Target 4, north of Barsele now, 5.5 kilometer intense geochemical anomaly. Again, exact same signatures we're seeing at Barsele. This has been base of till drilled as well, a couple hundred holes across the main grid. And then this would move on to base of till drilling later this year as well. So you're talking about 4 targets that we're going to spend about 25 to 30,000 meters of drilling this year, one of the biggest in Europe in terms of exploration programs done by a junior. And then we actually have found new targets, and we hopefully will continue to find more. A few weeks ago, on the Storjukten project claims, we found 4 more targets that were identified. Each is about 1.5 kilometers to 2 kilometers. You guessed it, we'll base of till drill these this year and then move them on to diamond drilling in 2026. So 8 targets already. I hope I'm going to have 5, 6 more after we do an extensive sampling program. We've only kind of covered, in terms of sampling, 50% of our entire project package. So I hope to have more targets, and that's kind of our idea here, to continue to build new targets, drill test them, and hopefully we really put together a series of multiple deposits in a camp. Just covering off the management and board here, guys, it's a very strong team, technically focused, capital markets driven. I myself was president, CEO, and founder of Discovery Silver. Grew that from IPO to all the way to 800 million market cap. Was there for 6 years. Was also part of the founding team and lead independent director GT Gold, which we sold to Newmont for $450 million. And prior to that, I spent time working at a gold producer in Mexico, Timmins Gold, which was acquired by Argonaut. Spent also a decade at Inco and Vale, and I was an analyst at Macquarie. So been in the sector my entire life. Adam Segelski, Ben Gelber, and John Aaron are all part of the founding teams of Caden Resources and Keegan Resources. So Caden was sold to Agnico for a little over $210 million. And Keegan Resources morphed into Asanko Gold and now is a Galiano Gold, 6 million ounce greenstone belt deposit in Ghana. Board is also very strong and really well-rounded. Toby Pierce is geologist, CEO at TAG Oil, but he was actually one of the original founders of Goldline. Henrik Lundin, Swedish national, great to have him on. He's a new addition, and an engineer as well. And obviously we're really growing our brand and our investor awareness in Sweden, and it's going to be great to have him there. Mark Legault, storied veteran with Agnico, 35 years, ended up leaving as a senior VP there. Technical, obviously, is going to be important, and having a relationship with Agnico and having him there is great as well. Gary Cope was the founder of Barsele Minerals, the predecessor company to First Nordic, and he also had great success before selling Orco Silver to Coeur. And Jeff Couch was also added last year. He was head of mining banking at BMO Capital Markets in London, another European kind of contact for us and our ability to grow our network there. And he's also now at Orion Resource Partners. So whenever we move this project on to construction, we've got some inside on debt whenever we need to. So that kind of wraps up the story. Again, it's pretty hard to do in just in 10 minutes, but please come by. We'd like to tell you why we think we're going to be building Europe's next gold camp.